So you've been to the doctor and the doctor's told you you've got type 2 diabetes or pre-diabetes, and he's told you you need to start exercising. Well, why do you need to start exercising? Well, in this video, I'm going to tell you exactly why, so stay tuned. Why am I qualified to talk about this? Well, my name is John Collett, and in March 2018, I got diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. And within 6 months, I managed to reverse my condition, and I want to help you do the same. Why is exercise so important if you're a type 2 diabetic or a pre-diabetic? Well, to answer that question, first you need to understand how your body is meant to work, how your body's working now and the problems you've got because of that, and how exercise resolves that issue. So let's start with the first part, which is how is your body meant to work? Every time you eat food, your body converts that food into energy, and that energy is called glucose. That energy then goes through your body and is meant to be absorbed by millions and millions of cells which reside in your body. But the cells by themselves, they can't absorb the energy. They need a hormone called insulin. Now this is produced through your pancreas. And every time you eat, your pancreas produces insulin that tells the cells to absorb the energy. When the cells in your body are full, the rest of that energy will then get stored in your liver and then your muscles, not much I know, but I got a bit. And then it gets stored as fat in your fat cells. Now, the one thing you've got to be aware of here is your fat cells can produce as much fat as they need to. Why does your body do this? Well, the reason your body does this is very simple. Is because we have evolved as human beings to live in a feast and famine society, which is something that we don't have right now. What we have in this part of the world, in the United Kingdom, America, in the Western world, is we have feast all of the time. Now, so what our bodies are meant to do, in the summer and the autumn when food is plentiful, we store all that extra energy as fat. And then during the winter and the spring period where there isn't as much food readily available, we burn the fat to keep our bodies going and to give ourselves energy. So that's how your body is meant to work. I'm going to try and simplify how that actually works. I want you to imagine a camel. A camel has to walk long distances without any water. So what the camel has done over the years is develop humps or a hump to store that excess water that it needs to give it the energy to keep on going on the long journey. So it'll first drink all the water that it needs for its own body, then it stores it in the hump. And as it goes along that journey, what happens is it starts to bring that energy, the excess energy it needs in its stored hump to keep it going. So how does your body work if you're a type 2 diabetic? Well, what happens is you consume the food, it turns it into glucose, that goes into your system, your pancreas then produces insulin to tell the cells to absorb it, but the cells ignore it. Now this is what we call insulin resistance. So what that energy does, because it can't be absorbed in the cells, it goes straight to the liver, it goes straight to the muscles, and then it gets stored into fat into your body. Now this is not something that can continue to happen, because if you don't do something to change this, you can get go into what we call hypoglycemia. And if that happens, you can go into a coma and you can even die. This is why if you talk to other type 2 diabetics, a lot of type 2 diabetics find out they're type 2 diabetic after they've had an incident, which normally involves them going unconscious, and they end up in hospital, and that's where they get diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. The other problem now is that your body is now producing more and more fat. And as I said earlier, your body can produce as much fat cells as it needs to. This is why type 2 diabetics regularly suffer with heart problems, respiratory problems, bad sight. Also, they're much more prone to infection. And the reason they're much more prone to infection, because of the amount of fat cells in their body, the immune system really struggles to get to the areas to deal with the infection. And if you want to look up ulcers for type 2 diabetics and why type 2 diabetics have to have their legs and arms amputated, I'll let you do that research. I'm not going to put it on this video. Okay, so why then is exercise so important to a type 2 diabetic? Well, the reason why exercise is so important is because every time you exercise, now I mean exercise that is going to cause you to sweat, okay? It has to cause you to sweat, and it has to be consistent for about 30 to 40 minutes. Now don't go out and do exercise straight away, 30 to 40 minutes. You want to ease yourself in, but that is your goal, okay? Now, every time you start to sweat, your body now starts, your cells in your body, the energy in those cells get depleted. And so the cells will now want more energy. So what it'll do is it'll go to the energy in your liver, in your muscles to get the energy from there. Once that energy has been depleted, what it'll do is it'll go to your fat cells to get the energy it requires. Now, here's an interesting fact, which is not really related, but I love this fact. It's from the University of New South Wales, and they did a study about what happens to fat once it's been burnt off. Because you think about it, when it gets burnt off, right, when you start burning your fat, it evaporates. And if you don't do, and if it doesn't go somewhere, it'll just turn back into fat in your body. So where does it go? Does it magically disappear? No, it doesn't. So what this study found is that 80% of your fat, when you're burning it, comes through your breath. And the other 20% of the fat comes through sweat, or if you're working hard enough, your tears. Okay, so I'm going to leave that with you. So this is why it's really, and getting back on point, why it's really important that you exercise as a type 2 diabetic. Because what you're doing by exercising, you're forcing the cells to start working again. And in fact, what you actually end up doing is reducing insulin resistance, so that when you do eat, your cells start to absorb the energy a little bit better than they used to. Unfortunately, you can never reverse the condition completely. You can't heal the condition. But you know what you can do is make that easier. And also by burning the fat in your body, it allows your whole system to work a lot better, and as a result you are less likely to get heart problems, respiratory problems, eye problems, and more importantly your immune system is going to work a lot better. So that's why you need to exercise as a type 2 diabetic. But what I want to say to you is you don't need to do this alone. Type Rhino, we've got a free Facebook group called Charging Down Type 2 Diabetes. Click the description below, there'll be a link in there. Click on that, that'll take you to the Charging Down Type 2 Diabetes Facebook group. Come join us in there and be with other type 2 diabetics like yourself looking to reverse their condition. Then please give this channel a subscribe, press that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. We bring out at 6:30 every Monday GMT time. Share the video as well, give us a thumbs up because it all helps with the algorithm so we can help more people. Now I'm going to stick another video here about the best type of exercise to do as a type 2 diabetic, and another video here about the best time to exercise as a type 2 diabetic. And please remember, you're no longer a number, you're a rhino. Now charge.